Welcome, chronically underappreciated communications architect to Om of Comms. This is your sanctuary from a world where your strategic value is often misunderstood. A place where we don't need to repeatedly explain the fundamental difference between advertising and public relations. In the ecosystem of business priorities, public relations often finds itself relegated to the periphery, positioned as the corporate equivalent of decorative throw pillows, rather than the load-bearing wall it truly is. Today, we journey inward to transform frustration into focused influence, while accepting that some executives will continue to think your entire profession could be replaced by a friendly intern with an Instagram account. Find a position that allows your spine to be straight, but not rigid, much like your carefully crafted responses to executives who say, "How can we spin this?" Place your hands comfortably on your lap, palms facing upward, ready to receive new perspectives or catch your eyeballs should they roll too far back during your next budget meeting. Allow your shoulders to drop away from your ears, releasing the tension of being perpetually misunderstood. Now, gently close your eyes, symbolically shutting out the spreadsheet mentality that believes your entire department's value can be reduced to a single cell labeled miscellaneous. Let's begin by giving your breath the kind of attention you never get from your leadership team. Notice where your breath enters your body, its path through your nose, into your lungs, the rise of your diaphragm, and then follow the breath as it leaves the same way it came. Breathe deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold at the top for 2. And release for 6, imagining you're exhaling the words, "nice to have," from your consciousness. Repeat this cycle. Each breath dissolves the frustration of having your strategic counsel treated with the same urgency as deciding on the office snack selection. Next, breathe in powerfully for 5 counts, imagining you're drawing in the clarity executives need about PR's true value. Hold for 2. And exhale for 7, visualizing the release of the defensive energy that wells up when someone suggests, "My nephew has a lot of Instagram followers. Maybe he could help." Breathe at your own pace. With each exhale, feel yourself becoming not a pleading supplicant, but a confident advisor. For this final breathing sequence, inhale determination through your nose for 6 counts. Hold briefly. Release through slightly parted lips for 8 counts, picturing yourself calmly dismantling misconceptions in the boardroom without once uttering the phrase, "synergistic brand touchpoints." As you settle into this space of intentional awareness, bring to mind the executive who views your work as peripheral rather than essential, the one who believes communications is something that happens automatically, like photosynthesis, or the coffee machine refilling itself. Notice any sensations that arise in your body when you visualize this person. Perhaps tightness in your jaw, tension across your shoulders, or a knot in your stomach, roughly the size and density of the travel budget they declined to approve last quarter. Simply observe these physical responses without judgment. They are natural reactions to having your expertise devalued. Now shift your awareness to the fundamental misunderstanding at play. The executive isn't necessarily dismissing you personally. They're operating from a limited frame of reference about communication's role in business outcomes, much like someone who believes effective communication is a natural talent rather than a refined skill. Visualize yourself standing at a whiteboard, not with defensiveness, but with serene command of your domain expertise. You're not fighting for relevance. You're illuminating a reality that already exists, like explaining gravity to someone who keeps dropping things. Now imagine yourself in a meeting with this executive. As they speak, you're fully present. You're listening for the underlying priorities and values that drive their perspective. What truly matters to them? Revenue, market positioning, operational efficiency? Let the answer emerge naturally. With this insight, visualize yourself reframing PR not as an activity to be performed, but as a strategic approach to addressing exactly what they care about most. You're not asking them to value communications. You're showing how communications directly enables their priority outcomes, much like explaining that oxygen enables continued living. Feel the shift as you move from justifying your existence to confidently connecting your expertise to organizational success. Now bring to mind a specific initiative that directly supported business objectives. Perhaps it positioned the company advantageously with investors, strengthened recruitment of top talent, or built crucial goodwill before a challenging announcement that would have otherwise been received with the enthusiasm of a tax audit. See yourself articulating this value not in communication jargon, but in the language of business impact, the native tongue of the executive mind, where even the most beautiful narrative must eventually find its home in a bullet point. As you breathe deeply, release the need for immediate validation. With each inhale, draw in patience for the long game of organizational change. With each exhale, release attachment to instant gratification or acknowledgement, along with the fantasy of one day saying, "I told you so," when that ignored issue finally becomes a full-blown crisis. Finally, envision yourself not as a practitioner requesting permission, but as a strategic advisor offering guidance. Your value isn't determined by those who don't yet understand it. Your contribution remains essential whether recognized or not, though your mindful persistence will ultimately ensure it is, possibly right around the time your competitor faces a public relations disaster. Now repeat these truths silently to yourself. I am not a cost center. I am an investment in organizational relationships. My value is not diminished by others' limited understanding of my function. I communicate with strategic purpose, not to create content that will be ignored on the company blog. I patiently educate through demonstration, not desperation. I am the essential connective tissue of organizational success, not just a cog who handles social media stuff. Begin to bring your awareness back to the physical space around you. Wiggle your fingers and toes, reconnecting with your physical presence. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes, carrying this centered perspective back into your professional interactions, and perhaps a small notepad to document the next baffling suggestion from leadership. As you navigate the challenge of executives who see PR as optional, remember that you don't need to constantly justify your existence. Instead, consistently demonstrate your strategic value in language that resonates with business priorities. Your mindful persistence will gradually transform perception, even if that transformation moves at roughly the speed of your company's website redesign project. The most powerful message is the one delivered with calm confidence rather than desperate insistence. Namaste, communicator. Namaste.